Welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikinen. I'm here in beautiful Boulder Creek, California, where our state flag is the flannel shirt, our state bird is the pit bull, and our state flower is cannabis. I am joined to my right by my good friend Lindsey Scharmyn from the show Roadways. She's down from Washington State on a very long road trip. It's fucking awesome to have her here. And my good friend Jason Carney, who's in Los Angeles tonight. Jason, how's it going?
Hakuna Matata and all that jazz.
Right on. What's up, Lindsey?
What a wonderful phrase.
Hakuna Matata.
Pickles are my favorite, so I'm glad to be here.
I just found out recently that the phrase kumbaya is literally just the Creole pronunciation of come over here.
Do you know who told you that?
That was you, wasn't
That was me.
it? Jason. Yeah. How's it going, buddy?
There's so many jokes there.
It's like they're just begging God. Please, please come here. Help us.
Right, because I'm in Louisiana and you apparently left a long time ago.
Yeah.
Much like Fresno.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of kick off the show tonight with the ridiculousness that is the Oregon State Republican Party. You just drove through Oregon.
Just drove through Oregon.
They were gonna have a vote on like some cap and trade bill, climate change bill. And it's a cap and trade bill. It's an end user punishing thing. I don't know why it always has to be fucking end user punishing this. I mean, I do.
Yeah. It's for the little guys.
But in order to avoid a vote on it, was it 11, Jay?
Yes.
11 Republican state legislatures fled the state. Some went to Idaho to hole up with a fucking right-wing militia, and they're now telling the they're telling Oregon state cops, if you come armed and bring bachelors.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't even believe we're living in the real world. Like, I feel like I went into a coma some time ago, and this is just bizarro world that I have to like swim through to get back to reality somehow, because that's fucking weird.
Dude, it's not the first time that like one party or the other has walked out of a state house over one thing or another.
But they ran away.
Yeah, it's straight up the first time that they've ran away and then been like, if you come after me, you better bring fucking armed bachelors. Because we're going to do this. Yeah, this is where we are in 2019 with all of the wonderful technology and the ability to grow our own food and the ability to fucking,
it's bad when your elected representatives are acting like 3-year-old children and cannot even have a discussion or like come to a fucking decision about things with other adults. Alleged adults. I'm sorry, alleged.
Well, I mean, where's the example of how to be an adult in politics though? Like in general, like at all?
Yeah, is there?
How about you, Jay?
So. If Hillary would have won, then we would have had an adult in the White House, and I can't even keep a straight face.
Am I allowed to say pedivore on this show?
Yes.
Oh, I just learned the word pedivore today. Just someone who eats babies. You saying Hillary Clinton made me think of it.
If you didn't know,
beautiful.
Hillary Clinton eats babies.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Heard it here on Slow News Day.
She eats babies and she has kuru from it. Look it up.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yes.
What the fuck though, dude? You're right. Like, we're out. What do they do to get their state legislature back? And why aren't the people of Oregon just pointing to this and being like, well, we don't fucking need them?
Yeah. Who needs them?
Fucking
the average American can't name all 9 of their Supreme Court members. They can't even tell you how many are needed to bring a court case before the Supreme Court. They damn sure couldn't name 9 members of their own state Supreme Court. They can't name their governor. They can't name anybody who works underneath them. Why would they give a rat's ass about treason and possible civil unrest?
I'll tell you
Good
this, if you're a partisan hack, you probably know the name of the governor just because you're writing angry fucking all caps screeds on Facebook like 5 or 6 times a day about him or her. You probably do.
Right.
I know the name of our governor because he's been waiting to be governor for like the last 15 years and just getting more corrupt and handsome as he goes. It's disturbing.
I paid just enough attention because I taught civics a little bit, and because I am a teacher and I had to pay attention to like the politics of teaching and teaching pay. But otherwise, I almost try not to pay attention now, which is sad. I know, but I'm like, these clowns are just gonna be clowns.
What I'm getting at is either the collective ignorance or the collective stupidity of the American people, and the people of Oregon won't allow them to give a rat's ass about this.
Yeah.
That's my stance. I know it's not the stance of everyone, but I'm reading through HuffPost take, Democracy Now, other outlets, and it's by the fact that they've been so silent this long, I'm curious, is the lack of sunlight somehow affecting their brain cells? Because this is a unique situation that we haven't seen since the Civil War.
It's true. I didn't hear a single person bring it up or mention it while I was there. I was just there.
The land of powder is not paying attention.
Land of powder. White powder! It is all over the place there. It is. Fucking, I know a guy whose nickname is White Powder. It's fucking hilarious.
For cocaine or?
No, his nickname, like as a dude, as a human being, his nickname is White Powder. And he's a fucking, like,
he does
straight
a lot
up.
Of cocaine.
No, he's a remember that movie Powder?
Yes. Okay.
About the albino.
He's a savant.
No, he's an albino kind of looking dude.
Natural Powers and John Travolta.
And his hair is so blonde, it's almost white, and I'm pretty sure that he's like
whiter than powder.
Yeah,
Like Steve has to explain things to me because I don't understand jokes.
Yeah.
I understand how they're structurally set up, but when you do the follow through, that's where you lose me.
I'll be here all week.
But on the plus side, Tuesday, a spokeswoman for the Oregon Republican Senate caucus confirmed that the senators hadn't accepted any such help. The senators are not with any militias and are not accepting their help, Kate Gillum said. Senate Republicans do not condone the use of violence on state troopers. This is a peaceful protest against the bill that addresses climate change. Here's what we should do. We should take any Republican that we know, take a blunt object, hit them over the head. If they live, then maybe they've learned the lesson. If they have some type of subdermal hematoma, it was meant to be God's will and such, right? They believe in that sort of stuff. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Jason's full on fucking cynical this evening. He's grumpy and tired doing the show.
I have answers.
I don't get why they need to. Answers. I don't get why they need to protest it if they're the government. They could just come back and change, amend, vote, and propose something else.
I think the thing,
any number of things, really.
I think the thing is, there's a Democratic majority. So if they showed up to vote, they were gonna get, their asses handed to them.
Oh, and they can't vote at all.
They need two for quorum. They need 2 Republican senators for quorum, and that's what the holdup is. I mean, there's 11 of them, obviously, and they are all going as one body away from this. So they're preventing this even from hitting the floor, essentially, by doing this little cute protest of theirs.
This is what is so weird to me, is they have all of these shenanigans they can pull out to make nothing happen. That whenever something happens, I'm like, all right, then how did they pull this off, and what's the real goal behind it?
Right, 9/11 happens, and all of a sudden there's a fucking 13,000 word document called the Patriot Act just
magic
waiting around. There was a first draft of that written in '96. It was called the Omnibus
Project for a New American.
No. It was the Omnibus Terrorism Bill, and Joe Biden wrote it. And Joe. it was the precursor to the Patriot Act. It laid a lot of the groundwork for it. It was only coming in with a brand new appreciation for the deep state and the Bush administration, that they were able to create all these umbrella agencies and fucking alphabet agencies that you know, we went from like 5 to 17 overnight, 23 overnight, some ridiculous shit like that.
It's like a board game and someone just played the like bureaucracy card and just like fucked everyone.
That's fucking hilarious. You're just over there like, fucking what?
How did we get on baby meeting and 9/11? What's going on?
No, it's not that. It's so stupid. It physically hurts to try to inject something into it. These are the same people that are pushing Biden for president. These are the same people who keep bitching about the government. Again, I think it's 88 to 91% disapproval rate for Congress. Yet keep voting in their fucking congressional people.
Because they keep
American
telling
people-
themselves that there's no other choice or something. It's like a weird.
Exactly. And if they had just, I don't know, listened for 30 seconds in third grade civics class, they would realize there's a multitude of options if they would just pursue them. And at the end of the day, really, America's problems are Americans' fault. We could say it's the government. We could deflect blame. We could do this. We could do that. We point. But when you have independent media out there telling you exactly how to alter the situation before it becomes catastrophic, when you have multiple people who are trying their damnedest to get people to wake up that there's more options, and yet the ignorant masses keep doing their own stupid acts, almost like a bad episode of The Walking Dead, and we keep having the same crap play out over and over. I'm tired, I'm grumpy, but goddamn it, America, you're stupid. I'm good. Let's move on. Yes. Yes.
You're tired, grumpy, and not wrong.
I just don't get it.
Half a century of a deliberate effort to dumb down and propagandize the populace will get you a dumbed down and propagandized populace.
And the economic constraints that people are struggling with. I was just talking earlier with Steve and Danae about like the effects of stress on the human body and brain, and it's momentous. And so keeping people in a constant state of stress is really effective at controlling them. And it's not an accident that all of these things come together at once, you know.
No, you're 100% right. 100%
But
right.
it's true too that people have to take responsibility for themselves and their surroundings before it's going to get better. So,
yeah,
you know, both are true.
Pitchforks and torches. I mean, can we just all agree on that one for this evening?
What is it you say?
Heads on pikes and general strikes, and nothing fucking changes. We're
just rhymes. It's so nice.
And this isn't even intellectual elitism. This isn't me being like, God, I'm smarter than you. This is just common sense. Stop putting in the same actors that are causing the problem. Stop. Just stop.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's becoming more obvious to people that it's rigged. Because even when we deliberately try to move away from the same actors by picking like a Donald Trump,
right,
we're getting a Donald Trump put on us due to either deliberate stupidity on Team Clinton's part, which I don't believe for a fucking second, or Hillary Clinton legitimately believing that the general election would be just as easy to rig as the primary. And we got Donald Trump, and who does he bring in but all the same fucking neocons from George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush.
5D chess.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck you, Q, idiots. You're fucking retarded.
No,
You're
man,
dumb.
they know. No, man, they know because they have Q level clearance, man. They know. They know.
I believe that Q has some connection with the president, but I feel like that is probably the most masterful game that's been played, is to get people to believe in someone, in any politician.
Elizabeth Voss. I don't know if you know who she is. She's a fantastic fucking journalist. She's been all over the Julian Assange shit. She's incredible. She's been on the podcast a couple of times. She called Q hope porn.
Yeah, I like it.
In the most delightful Australian accent that she has.
It's on crikey.
And a little bit more delightful than that.
Just a little though.
Yeah, just a bit though. That was decent, man. That was. You have been in LA for a little bit. You're picking up actor skills.
I've been in LA. Okay, the tacos down at La Hacienda.
How much you pay for a taco on Hacienda?
It's good. Yeah.
How much is a street taco in LA?
Wait, how much?
How much? What are you paying for a street
The
taco?
one I got last night was like $13.50.
What?
At a restaurant or a food truck?
Food truck.
What?
You're
You don't
fucked.
go to a restaurant.
You're fucking kidding. $13.50 for a.
I
No,
know.
it was down at fucking Melrose. I was doing the whole walk down there and see what it was like to be a capitalist pig thing, and I did it. And let me tell you, I felt dirty on the inside.
Yeah.
I felt really dirty.
And the taco didn't help.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a taco. It wasn't a legit taco truck. Like if you go on 7th, like East 7th Street, and you go to a taco truck, you're paying like $4, and you're getting the best taco in the world. But you go up by the rich areas.
I came to San Diego when I was very young, and that was like the things. We all went out and bought like dollar tacos, and they were the best tacos I'd ever had in my life.
But you got to get away from places like Melrose and crap like that. The rich areas. You got to go toward like East LA. You got to go downtown. You got to get away from the stupid, glitz and glamour crap. And then you go down there and you pay like $3 or $4 for the best tacos in the world.
That makes more
sense. I had for $13 tasted like I can't imagine what fresh ass tastes like, but decomposing ass. It wasn't the greatest thing for $13.50. I was emotional.
Like you haven't eaten fresh ass, Jason Carney. You're fucking full of shit, and we know it. Chris Walker in the chat points and brought this up, dude. And I don't know if I just saw a little bit about it yesterday. It was one of the fucking funniest things I saw in a minute. There's actors getting together to read out a dramatic reading of the Mueller report. Have you heard this shit?
No, I haven't.
And like, I'm broken fucking hearted because one of them is John Lithgow, and I've got this love for John Lithgow.
I mean, it'll be really good. Maybe it'll be hilarious.
I'll give you the list. Keep talking.
If nothing else, it proves that the entire thing was a story. Like if you're going to the extent to where, okay, fuck it, we're giving a dramatic reading of this, and it's like Hollywood fucking A and B list.
Yeah.
John Lithgow, Jason Alexander, Annette Bening, Kira Sedgwick, and Alyssa Milano. The play
Alyssa Milano. That's all I needed.
It's a dramatization of the Mueller report that used the actual text for dialogue.
Oh, wait, so who's producing it and when will it be out?
Yeah, probably in 10 minutes. I'm looking through to see when the release is supposed to be. I think they've
already made it before the report came out. They've just been waiting to release it.
Mark Hamill's doing it too.
No.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Elaine. So Mark Hamill's got great character voices. I don't know if you know that or not. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
He was the Joker. He was the Joker too in the original Batman the Animated Series back in the day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he was Cockknocker.
And he was Cockknocker.
Yes.
Shout out to Kevin Smith.
The fact that I even remember that name is pretty fucked up.
Hell yeah.
That was a great. I mean, the Bong lightsabers. Come on.
Yeah.
Then he like put it out and just greatest fucking movie. I don't have a date. It doesn't say. It's just lameness for lameness sake. I think.
What I think it is that if you're going to do something on a level that fucks over 365 million people, in order to pull that off, you have to announce your intent.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this was telegraphed, and I think that a dramatic reading of the Mueller report is just kind of capping that off. Like, see, we fucking told you. It was a fucking script from start to finish. The whole thing now is a justifiable reason for the Trump administration or any other administration to prosecute Julian Assange and fucking any other whistleblower that they want to. That's what it's turned into. It's turned into more of this Russia shit. Now they're starting to talk about Iranian fucking bots are gonna try and influence the 2020 election.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Being in LA, it's really awesome because it is literally a cultural melting pot. You literally have everybody on earth represented in Los Angeles. And I got into a lift yesterday to go out somewhere. And it happened to be an Iranian who's listening to NPR. And I was all like, huh, okay. Then he asked me out of the blue my opinion on the Iranian situation. So I start going down the spiel that, It's unprovoked. It's absolute nonsense. I disagree with the Ayatollah and the theocracy that currently runs the country, but it's the Iranian people that are going to suffer for the bullshit that the Americans and the Iranian government are pulling. Talked about the Saudi, Israel, Iranian power struggle that's occurring in the Middle East, all the other fun shit. And he looked at me and he said, "But don't you think Donald Trump has, intel that we don't have that would cause him to feel this way?" And I asked him where he was from. He said, "Iran." I said, "Oh, you're an angry expatriate." Got it. Because this guy was justifying Donald Trump's stupid assertions, and then I'm going to go to war. No, I'm not going to go to war. I'm going to go to war. No, we could go to war. I'm just not ready to do it yet. I mean, it's fuck.
It's really demeaning, and I just have never really agreed with this sort of implicit idea that we are sold that somehow Donald Trump can understand geopolitical movements more than other people can. Like, so, okay, maybe you know something about Iran that makes you want to go to war with them. I don't buy that, but like, let's say that it could happen. Why wouldn't you just say it?
Exactly.
What is it that you would be needing to hide from us?
My degree happens to be in political science with concentration in international relations. So international relations is kind of my bag. There is nothing that Iran has been doing in the last 3 years since they signed the deal with Obama that has caused me to go, yeah, you know what? We should really walk away from them stopping their nuclear program and threaten war. I think it's a really solid idea. I think that's sound foreign policy.
Slaughtering humans over it.
Lots and lots of humans.
The Ayatollah is not going to be killed in this. It's going to be hundreds of thousands of innocent Iranian people that have nothing to do with this.
None of the people doing anything supposedly, allegedly even happening would have anything to do with it.
And then Trump comes out with that tweet that was like, "We were ready to go." And 10 minutes before, I asked the guys, "How many are going to die?" And they're like, 150 people. So I said no. Okay, first off, dude, no president finds out 10 minutes before you're about to strike how many people are going to die.
Yeah,
they've had fucking reports and assessments and fucking shit like that ran down fucking way the shit in advance.
Or they were like, "It's time to stop eating cupcakes and come say these lines we wrote for you."
Right.
But that's my thing, though, is like, I can only envision this working out one way. The chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff presents a plan to him, starts to read it off, and he's like, no, I'm good. I'm watching The Apprentice over again, or whatever the fuck he does with his free time. I'm watching Fox and Friends, whatever. And then about 10 minutes before, he goes, "Oh, shit, yeah, how many people are supposed to die? 150? Oh, don't do it. Never mind. Scratch that thought." That's the only way, through gross incompetence and sheer stupidity, that I could see him finding out 10 minutes before that X amount of people were going to die.
Wait, something important's happening. I'm supposed to ask about it.
No, it's one of those things where, like, he said it when he was campaigning. Like, I know how ratings work.
Yeah.
I know how this business works. He knows that he's full of shit every time he opens his fucking mouth. He knows that. But he also knows that he's governing a television audience.
Yeah.
So he treats the American people like they're a fucking reality TV audience.
And they fucking act like it to back it up.
We were down to the wire. It was 10 minutes to go. Fucking, he even had like cliffhanger tweets and fucking find out on fucking whatever date, and shit like that. Dude, he's running a fucking reality show out of the White House, and people are buying into it.
Oh, did you hear? It was 10 minutes before, and he totally stopped.
How brave. He stopped the attack he ordered.
So brave.
That's like me saving the pepperoni pizza's life that I ordered just because somebody, came to the door. It's stupid. It's all stupid. Trump, you're fucking stupid. Any Republican that voted for him, you're fucking stupid.
Well, you voted for a game show host because you didn't like an obvious lizard person. And fucking, there was like...
I get that he's Canadian, but goddamn it, if you want a game show host, should have been Pat Sajak.
Alex Trebek is Canadian.
He's gonna die.
Huh?
He's gonna die. He's got like
even better
cancer.
Steve Harvey
gonna be around forever.
Steve Harvey's a fucking piece of shit.
Is he?
Fuck Steve Harvey.
Why?
For the record, dude. He's fucking woman beaten fucking joke thief.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
the joke thief I
That's not
get, but I didn't know he had domestic violence issues.
Allegations.
Oh,
All right, let's not hire Steve Harvey as
Not
our
gonna-
president.
Yeah, and I'm not out here to libel the guy, but
Yeah, allegedly.
anybody with that mustache hits a lady.
And runs a mean game show.
yeah,
John Bolton has a Steve Harvey has a John Bolton mustache,
yeah.
and John Bolton runs a mean game show.
Yeah. Now I'm going through Twitter to see if I can find any shred of intellect when it comes to this topic, and let me tell you, no.
You're looking for intellect on Twitter?
Wow.
Did you know that Hickenlooper threatens to sue any town or city that bans fracking? That's one of your Democrat nominees. I'm just saying.
He was recently at the Bilderberger last year, I know, because my friend called that he would become someone important after that, and he did. How convenient.
No, he's a presidential kid who went on CNN telling people he went and saw Deep Throat with his mom.
Oh.
What?
You know that, right?
No.
Yeah, Hickenlooper. Yeah, like one of his first TV interviews.
Was he talking about something confusing, like some informant, or was he talking about porn and another?
No, he was talking about I went and watched porn with my mom.
No. Why?
You gotta see
Yeah,
why I'm
but I'll
having the
sue your
reaction
city
I'm
if they
having.
try
I
to
was
ban
even alive
fracking.
when that movie came out. Oh.
You can see where his
That's like,
issues come from.
yeah, I watched Two Girls, One Cup with my mom. Absolutely fantastic. It's all like, wait, what? Wait a minute, what?
I don't understand what's happening anymore. This is just more evidence that I'm in a coma, a dream, and nothing is real.
Wake the fuck up, please. It's
Yes.
going to hell in a handbasket
I
for the
can
rest
stop
of us in
all
your
of this.
imagination. Wake up.
I'll do it.
Right? If
Cheap
it's
for
all,
you guys.
I would have thought there would have been more and better snacks in Lindsay's version of the simulation.
You know?
I don't know.
Cupcakes.
But
Come on.
Governor John Hickenlooper says he won't tolerate cities and towns that ban oil and gas drilling within their borders, and he promises to take them to court. That's one of your Democrat
It's a Democrat.
potential nominees for president.
Democrat.
Elizabeth Warren thinks we should green the military and make the planet a more sustainable place to bomb. Joe Biden's fucking climate advisor stepped down from the board of a liquid natural gas company to work on his campaign. Like,
What a fucking piece of trash. That guy touches little kids.
yeah, pedo Joe, fuck him. Yeah, these are Democrats
Democrats.
running for president, and really, it's
Can we just start a party called Normal People and just have normal people be in it?
well, yeah, right, like a workers' party.
Just normal people. We'll call it Normal People. And people will be like, that's funny. I'll vote for them. And it'll just be normal people. And then we'll save the world by being normal.
But I think that's the problem. I think people thought that Trump was like one of them. I think people that think like Boris
he's
Johnson
not a
is
normal
one
person.
of them. I think, but again,
I think my logic is sound.
no, there's a guy running for office. He's running for fucking mayor of San Francisco. And he's a truck driver. Or no, I'm sorry, he's running for Congress in Washington. He's a truck driver, like a long haul truck driver.
Oh, rad.
And he's running for Congress.
Normal guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm in love with that idea.
The dude who's trying to run against Nancy Pelosi is like some fucking older, like late 40s, early 50s, fucking Indian hipster dude with a man bun.
Yes. Vote for him. This is all the
Shahid
information
Buttar.
I need.
Vote Shahid.
Like, that guy's different.
What is it? San Francisco, Marin, and Alameda? Doesn't that what Pelosi represent? Isn't it San Francisco, Marin, and Alameda counties?
Marin and Alameda. I don't know how much Alameda's Oakland. That's Barbara.
Right
That's
there.
Barbara
She has
Lee.
to cover some parts of Oakland as within our congressional district.
Is
Have
it?
to. I gotta find out now. Go
I
ahead.
thought that
Tell me
was
about
all.
yourself.
I thought that was like Barbara Lee and a couple other people.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying completely all of Alameda County. I'm just saying parts of it. Let's see.
I don't know. I know Barbara Lee's fucking. trying her the Iraq war was wrong ass off to push Kamala Harris, and that makes me sad.
Oh shit. Okay, the 12th district, which she represents, is just San Francisco, the city and county of San Francisco.
That's what, yeah.
I stand corrected. I can learn. Look at me.
Fuck, dude.
I try if she lets me. Consent. Always consent first, kid.
Always. It's not consent. She's asleep.
I'm still a little fucking worn out from the weekend.
I thought you were gonna say you're still a little unclear on what is and isn't consent, and I was like, let's have a lesson.
No.
I like law. Let's do law.
I'm fully aware of what consent is. I practice.
I have them sign in triplicate. It's just the wisest move. Kind of takes away from the mood, but guess what? I'm covered.
Remember that Chappelle Show bit where it was the fucking sex form? Remember that? It was.
Yeah,
And this is like 15 years ago on the Chappelle Show. But he had the date form where he was like, all right, fucking initial here for oral.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it too. Sign that shit. Like, all right, and check
Steve,
there.
where I was going. I did my spin on that. Love
Yeah.
Miss you, Chappelle.
Do you have your what box do you check for anal?
Please?
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Don't fucking lie about it. You don't like to
Oh shit.
Don't lie.
I do not consent.
Right.
I do not.
See,
let me say one more time. I do
in
not
the Chappelle
consent.
Show bit, that's exactly what she did too. And he was like, pretty standard.
Standard model. What can I say?
Fuck, dude, I miss that show. I wonder how much of that we can quote on YouTube without getting a copyright strike. I think it's as long as we don't show it, right?
I think it's only AI that are even looking for it. So if you're saying it in a different cadence or speed, or like, you get one word wrong, I think you don't get triggered like
Awesome.
the AI algorithm, and so you're good.
I'm Rick James.
Female dog.
James Snitch.
There you go.
Hey, dude, that's bad. That's bad. Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy.
What, is he dead?
Charlie Murphy?
Yeah.
He passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone.
Okay, let's go from a depressing subject to another depressing subject. Hey, Steve, what happened in Honduras today?
Well, it was 5 days ago, but we're destabilizing Honduras again, if you guys didn't know this. It was the 10th anniversary
When did we last destabilize Honduras? What are you talking about?
2009, when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. She orchestrated and helped implement a coup to oust a democratically elected president.
And I bet
Honduras.
we have footage of her laughing about it somewhere.
Guaranteed. Yeah, no, this was her warm up to Libya. Yeah. And we've been fucking around in Honduras since the mid 60s.
Is that not where we had the School of the Americas or whatever?
They have the best capital name. That's all I know. Tegucigalpa. Come on.
That's pretty good.
Tegucigalpa.
Tegucigalpa. It sounds like a thing that you say to people as like a blessing.
You know what's fucked up before the show?
Did you know Tegucigalpa?
Tegucigalpa.
Before the show, I looked up how to pronounce it.
Good job.
I didn't know.
Gotta be ready.
I didn't.
I'm taking Spanish, so it's kind of just it's there now. I got Tegucigalpa.
There you go.
I would imagine that to work for Greyhound, you would need to know Spanish.
Yeah, tell us a Greyhound story.
What is it?
Wait, no, let's
oh yeah, we're talking about
we're gonna do that.
Un poco de español. Boom. What's up for my Spanish speaking peeps? Mic drop.
You said something about a little Spanish.
I said I understand a little Spanish.
Comprende un poco español.
De español.
De español.
Boom.
This is why when I'm in Spanish-speaking places, I say very strange things to people because I miss one little accent or one little word. Like I told a guy who asked for my money, I called him my wife and told him that he had my money.
We should have a segment called "White People Do Spanish."
Yes. You have my money.
I know like kitchen and construction Spanish, but like
I don't know what that
not Spanish.
I don't know what you just said.
If there's people listening out there that understand what I mean when I say kitchen Spanish, like it's just something you know how to
like in a kitchen.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about Honduras.
So it was the 10th anniversary of the ouster of their democratically elected president, and protesters in Honduras who are actively feeling the effects of a new round of destabilization marched on the U.S. embassy and set the fucking door on fire.
Yeah. I'm probably supposed to be upset about that.
No. If only we were as dedicated as Americans. I think that there's a lot of like city hall buildings and fucking federal courthouses and all kinds of fucking, there's all kinds of doors, all kinds of them.
Allegedly.
There are allegedly doors
somewhere, and someone could do something too.
I gotta throw something in here. If you guys go take a look at the gray zone, if you type in Honduras embassy fire, you're gonna find an article from the gray zone. I can't find the author.
Yeah, that's the one I have pulled up on Mint Press. Here, hang on.
This one, it's Alex Rubinstein, and basically the byline is 10 years after a U.S.-backed coup handed Honduras over to big business, the country is rising up. A leader of deposed President Manuel Zelaya's party explains to the gray zone what's behind the protest wave. It's a really good article. You should check it out. So any quotations, I'll be getting it from you, Alex.
Well, I'll stick it in the show notes after this, which is what I always say every show, and I never put it in the
me too.
show notes.
And definitely go to Mint Press as well. I'm not saying go to one over the other. Get as much information as you can from as many different sources.
I'm glad that these people still remember and are trying to, I don't know.
Yeah,
keep it in people's minds at least, and like perhaps stop this.
Gerardo Torres is Secretary of International Affairs for the Liberty and Refoundation Party Libre, and that's the party to which Zelaya now belongs. Yesterday and today, we declared a national strike, which was successful. The estimate is that there were over 100 demonstrations in Honduras in the last 2 days, and that's the kind of shit that that they've been doing in France. Like, it's not just there's an action in Paris, it's there's 270 at once.
Well,
there's 100 at once. Like,
we were doing it for a little while here, like in 2003, and all over the nation, people were rising up in the anti-war protests because even people who bought the 9/11 story were like, well, we still don't need to fucking start a worldwide war over it, and let's like not attack 5 fucking countries for something that we don't even really understand yet. And I don't know what happened. Like, it just stopped.
Guess what? Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Patriot Act happened. The fucking wholesale green lighting of this war by every outlet of media happened. Like, even Jon Stewart was like, "Go get him," fucking like nothing. Fucking there's and I got a love for Jon Stewart, dude. I really like as a
I want like him and John Oliver, and then I see like little
what they do, and you want to fucking just punch him in the dick. Yeah,
like you're still a sellout bitch. But
yeah. Stephen Colbert is the worst, dude. Like, at least Stewart got out of it in fucking 2015. Wasn't afraid to go after Democrats on his show. Like, didn't ask hard questions when anybody in power was on his show. But he had Jim Cramer on, and he fucking beat the shit out of him over the media's role in pushing the fucking financial collapse. And he took this guy to task, like, really let some truth out, and they only showed it on web exclusive. They only showed 7 minutes of it.
You can't be this effective.
And Jon Stewart also brought down Crossfire, if you remember that, CNN's Crossfire.
One of my favorite fucking stories, dude. Jon
the
Stewart.
video's on YouTube. You gotta watch it.
It still is. If you haven't
I
seen
haven't
it,
seen
you
it.
gotta watch fucking Jon Stewart just destroy Tucker Carlson
And Paul
and
Begala.
Paul Begala. And it's not like both those guys don't have jobs or aren't fucking multi-millionaires now, but he ended that show with that. And like less than 3 months later, there was no Crossfire anymore after however many years on the air. And Jon Stewart fucking took him out and called Tucker Carlson a dick on TV before they could make it to commercial break.
Kind of a dick. It's kind of hilarious.
Steve, I wanted to ask a quick question. Do you know what two groups have triggered the austerity measures in Honduras, which is also leading to this particular protest on top of the 10th anniversary?
I cheated though.
Who?
IMF.
That's one of them. And Washington. You win. You are
Steve,
awesome.
let me look at the article. It's the only reason I know. But I know what they do. I know they do that. What I don't understand is why it would ever be okay with anyone that this organization tell them, like, you can only have this money if you enact these measures. Like, it's a fucking loan. You don't really get to say. I guess loans do get to say what you do with it, though. I don't get a house loan if I don't do it exactly the way they say. I don't know. It's very clearly unethical and immoral.
But here's the thing: austerity measures have been proven time and time again to never work do the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do.
So what is the IMF
goal? It creates more poverty and it creates more tenuous situations in which you see governments collapse and fall because the people are like, "Fuck your austerity."
Yeah.
So you can't have the Greek situation, the Portugal situation, and the Irish situation, which it didn't evolve or devolve too far into austerity, but they did have austerity measures which were protested. And expect those governments to come out unscathed and those countries to come out unscathed. Austerity does not work. It has never worked. Stop doing it.
That's exactly why they're doing it, though, is they want those conditions to exist.
Yeah.
Same reason. It's easier to control those people.
We were talking, it's the same thing. Yeah, it goes back to stress. If you can create enough stress and fear in a populace, you can control a populace. And that's what austerity measures are designed to do, is create stress for everybody but the elite who benefits from the austerity measures. The IMF is fucking...
It's just like a mafia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love what you two are saying, but I've got nothing to add to it other than you're both brilliant. That's spot on.
That's what amazed me about people who are trying to give Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez some props for getting $5 million of the DEA's total budget and the $80 million more that the Democrats gave the DEA than Trump was asking for. They gave $80 million more. AOC gets $5 million of it to go towards fucking treatment.
You're like, but you could have had 75 more than that.
Can I throw in a little something?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Separating, I'm going to be the guy who's the annoying guy who's sticking with Honduras throughout this.
Okay, that's fine.
Throughout the month of May, healthcare workers and educators organized widespread demonstrations against decrees by Hernandez, the current government leadership, that put their livelihoods in immediate jeopardy. Honduran citizens have followed these public sector workers into the streets, infuriated by IMF loans that required the government increase electricity costs while slashing healthcare and education. Anger about the abuses of foreign mining companies was also a major factor of the protest grievances, on top of the 10-year anniversary of direct meddling, intervention, an American coup on a democratically elected government, like they're trying to do in Venezuela and like they're doing in Iran.
But at least we didn't have a few memes that we put into their social media network.
Right. There was no meme.
That would be crossing the line.
Touche.
No meme of Jesus and the devil arm wrestling. No gay Bernie Sanders in a Speedo.
Oh,
gay buff Bernie.
How
that's what
the reason why I bring that up. The reason why I bring that up is this isn't some massive left-wing conspiracy that people are trying to purport. We are, on the American side, not directly seeing this with our own eyes, but getting first-hand accounts. And this is a people-driven left-wing opposition to the neoliberal bullshit that the American government has forced onto Latin America. This is a direct response to the IMF coming in there trying to push austerity. Washington, D.C. trying to push on austerity. if we listen to these people, we'll come to a really quick realization that shit is fucked up, not only internationally, but the way we do things here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's really simple.
Yeah, and that's great work by Alex Rubenstein. Again, like Alex, you're one of the good ones. Thank you for doing what he was inside the Venezuelan embassy until like right up to the very end. He was one of the last journalists and embassy protectors to leave before they started cutting the power and shit.
Wow. Have you had him on Sun Tuesday?
Haven't yet. I'm trying to get a show with him and Kevin Zeese, who was one of the guys who stayed in the embassy. I'm trying to work through a guy who's been on the show a few times elsewhere as to like get all of that to happen.
Pretty rad. That'll be a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kevin Zeese is a fucking amazing guy too. He's been a lifelong global peace activist his entire fucking life. I'm sure he's got like a file like that big on him. They do good work. They do. Go fucking look them up if you're not familiar with them. Kevin Zeese and Alex Rubenstein. Fucking good people. And I brought up the AOC thing because the DEA's total budget is $2.36 billion.
And they're doing such a good job eradicating drug use in the United States.
Just say no. Just say no.
Just say no.
The DEA is the fucking bagmen who allow the transportation of drugs from a cartel, the CIA, to go across the border.
Well, how would we know who's breaking the law if we don't give them the opportunity to break the law?
Right. And then once that cartel gets the drugs across the border, the CIA, they fucking give the drugs to CIA and FBI informants to then distribute so they can arrest mid and low level dealers and users.
We live in crazy world. None of it makes any sense. It all makes really a lot of sense if you just like want to have power and need something to do with your time.
There is masturbation.
I guess.
I mean, if you're that bored, masturbation is a great thing that doesn't kill anybody. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's a really good point.
Or we could create the gig economy.
What's that?
Fucking needing like 4 jobs and only like working a couple of days a week for each company. It's like a gig.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no.
I'm looking for
masturbation is better in this case.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm looking for the gig where I just work 2 days a week and that's it.
Well, see, I would even hang my hat on the 5 days a week, 40 hours, because that would give you a good work to life ratio. The current way that we're going right now, we're working ourselves to death.
Yeah, I think 40 hours is a lot. I can't.
I get it, and I'm not saying everybody's got to do it. I mean, let's take the French model.
I'm just being whiny.
But at
I
the
want
end
to
of the day,
do.
we live in a capitalist society that is materialistic. It's driven by keeping up with the Joneses mentality, and they use that, among other things, to keep the American worker pretty much oppressed and keep them in the factories and keep them at the dead-end jobs, so that they have to work the 96 hours a week just to live to work, not work to live type of deal.
Yeah.
The happy medium would be what was fought for in the early 20th century, a 40-hour work week. And if you go over that 40 hours, you are compensated handsomely for it, because 40 hours is a fuckload of time to be spending at one given job doing any one given thing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if we fell back to having unions that actually represented the workers first off, and then we actually had unions that had a backbone to go against corporate America. And then we didn't have Reagan with the whole air traffic controller bullshit starting to systematically destroy unions. We may not have the situation where we have the gig economy, where we have people doing Lyft and Uber at the same time while teaching during the day and working the Taco Bell checkout between the hours of 6 and 9 to try to pay for, I don't know, a bologna sandwich.
Or a $14 taco.
Or a $14 street taco.
Which was absolute shit. If you're watching, you know who you are. You know who you are.
I've said it on the show before. It's worth repeating. We need to get back to the original purpose of unions, which was to say we are here to collectively bargain for the betterment of these workers, or we're going to drag you out into the street and curb stomp you to death in front of your fucking family.
Allegedly. Oh wait.
No,
Oh,
that's what they did. That's how that shit went down. Yeah.
No, I was going to go back to, you had the Supreme Court case with, I believe it was Borgen. And this is one of those lesser known ones where it's about the exculpatory no defense. So we're going to subtract that. But the reason why I bring it up was that he was a union leader at the time who accepted a bribe. And when the cops who had information on him knew that he had collected the bribe, asked him if he was ever taken a bribe, he said no. It's one of those things where we look at unions as this criminal organization. We think of Hoffa, we think of the mafia. We see them as corrupt individuals who don't have the workers' interest at heart. It's the current system of unions is wrong, not the concept of unions. We need to go back to the original intent of unions, because unions are correct, they're just, and they're good. It's just the corruption that has oozed its way in via capitalism to our current union structure has totally delegitimized the whole process.
In 2019,
Maybe they're too big.
In 2019, we have nationwide 10.89% of the workforce unionized.
It's not enough. But it's also like these giant unions, like the National Education Association is like fucking huge.
But their union bosses exist to partner with management to screw over the workers.
For sure.
It's supposed to be adversarial. It's supposed to be adversarial.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like, no, fuck you, we're gonna shut this shit down right now if my teachers don't get a cost of living increase, if there aren't more fucking mental health professionals here, if we don't have a fucking janitorial staff that isn't using the most toxic shit ever to fucking, you know, cleaning agents and solvents and shit that these kids are then going to immediately go touch and breathe in. God knows what that's doing to their fucking brains. You know,
but this is like a trend across the board with us and our citizenship, is that we've like become very docile. We're like, well, it is really bad, but we'll just like, we'll try to vote it away next year, or what, you know, like we'll submit a fucking petition, or like, you know, we're very like, I don't know. I'm just like, no, let's just not fucking do these state tests that we don't get federal aid without the state test, right? But the state tests costs us the amount of federal aid we get to implement. So it's just a fucking wash. Let's just get rid of them.
Also a huge fault. Like you're a former teacher, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, sorry, I just went off on state testing.
No, do that.
A huge fault for education system is dependence on property taxes.
You drink nearby water if you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, say that again. We're shenanigans over here, but say that again.
It wouldn't be a show without shenanigans. So the biggest issue with the public school system is its dependency on property taxes. This creates the haves versus the have-nots. For example, in the inner city of Oakland, you're going to see a horribly run school, not by horrible people, but they don't have money to pay for books. They don't have money to take care of kids. They don't have money to pay their teachers. They are way behind the eight ball. You have a bunch of people that are trying their hardest to properly educate children that don't have any funding. But then you go down to Greenwich, Connecticut, or you go down to parts of LA, or you go to parts of San Francisco, and they have these immaculate, damn near almost private school level public schools because of property taxes.
Right.
We need to end that stupid practice now. If we're going to do it, we need to do it legitimately. We need to establish either a state tax for it, a federal tax for it, or what have you, because what we have running now is we have a bunch of underfunded teachers in a majority of the country trying to take care of so many freaking students, and not giving either the students or the teachers the opportunity to improve the lives of these students. There's no upward mobility anymore because of the property taxes and because of the limitations put forth on teachers because of funding. I mean, am I wrong? You're a teacher. You would know better than I.
No, you're right. That those are all problems that are legitimate. And there's a lot more that we could list too. I just, we're starting in Washington. It's gotten a little bit better. We've gotten a lot more funding recently. Like I finally get paid. It's really ironic. Right when I leave teaching is the first year that I'm getting paid somewhat near what I should be getting paid. And they're doing some stuff to try to equalize the funding issues like that. So there's some progress being made. And I think that's good to see. I'm sure it's not true in most of the country. I think Washington is always one of the more progressive places. But yeah, I've often had classrooms where, I mean, I've been very, very lucky. I've been in really rare situations that are not normal. But the times I was in normal situations, in regular classrooms that are more standard, I'd have like 32, 34 kids. I wouldn't have desks for every kid that I had. Yet I'd hope every day that 2 kids were absent so that we could all sit. And I've shared classrooms with other teachers. I've had this one year I went into the supply closet, and I had come from a really impoverished school. And impoverished schools, if you have a high enough students on free and reduced lunch, and you have enough, kids of color and different things, like you get different funding. So you actually, like, at these schools sometimes end up as a teacher a little bit happier because you have money for books and markers and things. For me, at least, that's what it felt like. And then I went to this one school where I had come from a school like that, and I went to the supply closet, and I just started like grabbing shit. I'm like, I need some markers, I need some erasers, I need stuff. I'll just like put this in my desk or whatever, and I'll have it for the year. And I was leaving, and one of the teachers came in and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like freaking out. I was like, "What?" And they were like, "This is for all of us." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's like a fucking supply closet. I get that it's for everyone." She's like, "No, for the whole year." And I was like, "Oh shit." Like, I just took like half of the shit. Like, I mean, not really, but I didn't understand that at all. And I was like, wait, so I actually am supposed to go spend my money to buy work shit?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to fucking buy shit to work with. But then I'm also like, you have to, or you're going to be in a classroom full of 34 kids with no shit to do. And that's a nightmare, let me tell you. So, yeah, there is definitely, that is a situation that occurs.
Well, in the state of California, I'm getting my JD so I can teach. I want to teach that, especially what you would call social sciences or civics. And in this state, you have to have at least a bachelor's degree. You have to take one of 2 different tests. One is a general, so you can teach any subject, and one is a specialized, so that you can do something for like civics. And you go through all this work to become a teacher, and you're paid $36,000 a year.
You just listed 3 of the like 46 things you have to do to get your actual certification.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You go through this arduous process just to teach.
Yep. It's like they don't,
because our teachers should be the best and brightest, but pay them like they're the best and brightest. Pay them like they're professionals.
Yeah. No, people don't get it. And people often will be like, "Oh, I was thinking about teaching. Can I just go teach?" And I'm like, "No, you fucking can't." It'd be cool if we could. There are situations where it's like ridiculous. Like my friend Rob, he just became a teacher, and he has a fucking PhD, right, in music theory and like performance art, or performance. Anyway, they won't let him teach music. They won't let him teach because he didn't jump through like the 46 right hoops. And I'm like, that dude is more fucking qualified than any motherfucker you're gonna get to teach here. Like, what? So there's some situations where I'm like,
accept that pay too. He's got a PhD and he's willing to accept that pay.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you do have to jump through a lot of hoops, and you're absolutely right. Other people with those same like levels of education and experience and whatever get paid way more.
That says a lot about what you can do with PhD in music theory.
Yes, and this is another reason why you shouldn't even get a PhD in anything, because you're gonna just fucking not have a job ever.
How can I pigeonhole myself into where nobody can hire me?
You can only
wait, guys, get to call yourself doctor. I mean, come on.
That's true. Well, and he doesn't, because he's like, that's pretentious.
Oh, he's one of those doctors.
And the other thing, this is the other thing that I hate, is people are like, well, you do get paid as much as other people when you consider all the time off you have. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't got more time off than you. Sorry, I don't get paid for summer. I get paid for 9 months of work. I don't have summer off. I just am unemployed in the summer.
Right. You've got 3 months, you got to find another job.
That's true. And I fucking chose to get paid over the 12 months so that I would have a paycheck for 12 months like normal people do, but I don't get paid for the summer. So like we have the same amount of time off as any fucking other person. And I'll promise you, don't want me to teach your kids after I haven't had a summer break.
Right.
Right. Promise you that.
I'm opposed to summer break though. I like the Las Vegas platform where they have year-round school, and I think that it helps increase scores and it keeps kids.
You want to pay me a quarter more than I get paid? Okay.
I'm all for teachers double what they get paid. And I'm all for, if they're working 12 months a year, that they get 12 months worth of professional level pay, benefits, etc. We should be treating teaching like Google treats prospective talent, or any other of these tech companies treat prospective talent.
But then they also have to do that thing where they actually let me do what the fuck I want to do. Google does
I
it.
can't speak to that, but what I can
does it.
speak to
Within reason,
is that we
I
do
think
need to
Google, I don't know
reform the
about that.
education
I think
system.
Google's probably pretty fucking hardcore about what
But they have their free Friday thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
right.
saying, give me my free Friday at least.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Right. Oh, wow. That'd be
I
great.
did. I got to teach V for Vendetta this year. It was gold.
Yeah.
The school district in the county, in the town, like next to the town that I grew up in, they do like a 9-week summer break, and then they're back for like 6 weeks and off for 2, and
That's what would be cool. So if we did year round, but you have like 3 weeks on, 1 week off,
yeah,
all year or something.
It's like 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and then there's a 9-week break over the summer.
This also, because the other thing I got to do this year was this little 3-week break in between semesters. I think we did it, and it was an extra. You'd spent the whole day with one teacher, or you could do 2 or 3 teachers depending on what project you wanted to do, but you'd get credit based on what you produced just in those 3. Because that's actually a lot of time. It's more time than you would spend in a quarter's worth of classes, but or of one subject at least, and it's equivalent credit to that. But you get so much more done. You get so much more depth because that's the only thing you're looking at. You're not like 45 minutes, think about math. Now, never think about math again today. Okay, English, 45 minutes, go now. Stop thinking about English. Like, it's such a strange way, and this is not how humans learn, and we've known that for fucking ever. But this is just how we do things.
Well, it's
So why change it?
Standardized testing.
Yeah.
It's based off of a like communist model of rote indoctrination for
training.
This is but in the Soviet Union they were creating a workforce. In America we kind of created a workforce.
I don't even know what we're doing.
Kind of, but we outsourced all the jobs, so everybody has these fucking like redundant jobs inside places. And
what are we doing? What are we trying to create?
Can I throw something in that's hilarious? Before Democrats jump all aboard with what we're saying, I think it was The West Wing in the 3rd or 4th season that talked about creative destruction. One of the episodes had a guy who has been retrained in like 3 or 4 jobs coming to DC and protesting the fact that this next job that he had was going to be outsourced like the 4 previous jobs that he had. He put himself through school multiple times. He can't keep a job because we constantly outsource under the neoliberal model of globalization. And the president's response essentially was, unfortunately, that's a part of economic creative destruction, which is essentially to destroy something to create more jobs elsewhere. We've destroyed our manufacturing section so much that we now have a gig economy. Yeah, unemployment's down, but underemployment is fucking through the roof. Having multiple jobs just to maintain a modicum of a normal life for you and your family, you have to have 3 or 4 jobs. It's ridiculous. This creative destruction that's been championed both by Democrats and Republicans under the neoliberal platform of economic theory, it's led to what we have today.
And we've got all this fake fucking fiat currency, and we could just be fucking sending people to school so that you could teach them skills with it. Like, you could have solar powered roads in the desert, you know.
For real, you kid. They haven't had that for a long time.
Yeah, like there's all this fucking cool shit that we could do. We could explore space, inner and outer, you know.
The lithium fucking crystals. The lithium fucking crystals.
And
fully automated gay luxury space communism. We could be there. We could.
Although I'd make the argument Star Trek's government is more fascist than communist. I would make that argument.
I want the Firefly like space lifestyle.
No,
whatever.
the rebels are bad in that. Because the empire there has a good healthcare system, great education. Their people are generally out of slavery compared to what the previous, which the rebels were fighting for. No, you can't be. No, not Firefly. Please, no. I like you so much.
I've ruined it.
Jackasses. They were idiots. They were space inbreds. No.
I basically want to have sex with Mal. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm the same guy who made fun of Game of Thrones. Every fucking nerd that watches your show, Steve, is going to hate me.
And you watch The West Wing.
Yeah.
Like, your Aaron Sorkin watching ass has, like, no room to
No,
pass
mine is
judgment.
intellectual
Although
snobbery when it comes to TV consumption, okay? Snobbery.
Firefly
Snobbery.
is weak.
Firefly is so weak. It's so good.
Kind of weak.
Everyone who's watching right now is screaming at Steve.
They're like, Firefly was the greatest fucking show on the face of the planet. Kill
Fuck
this
the
thing.
show.
Fuck Slow News Day. Firefly forever.
Angry tap.
They just Game of Thrones and Firefly. What
We
the fuck?
did
don't worry,
fucking rip on
it's
Game of
game on.
Thrones
Just
for
wait till I
like
do The Walking Dead.
45, no, it wasn't 45 minutes, but it was a while. It was a good, like, it was too long that we just caught on Game of Thrones.
It's just like, it's a show that, like, when you're watching it, you're just like, what the fuck could even happen next? And that's why you keep watching it. Because you're like, this person's fucking torturing that person. Those siblings are fucking, like, what the fuck is this show?
Let's distract
Well, here's
the
the
country for 7 years and give them the shittiest ending on the planet.
I never watched the ending.
Wow.
Daenerys started out so pure, so like spot
I
on
loved
with
her.
her assessment of the Iron Throne, and then the way R.R. Martin's illiterate, stupid ass finished it, it was like, really?
Is that how he did it, or did the show just?
I
like,
thought,
continue to
the
finish?
way that I heard it is that he didn't have anything to do with like the last 2 seasons of that show.
Because I think he hasn't even finished the books yet, and they had to go on without him or something.
Yeah.
Well, his writing prose sucks. Anyways, we don't need to get into that because we got hate mail for that.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah, no, we were talking about this earlier, though, that while everybody was distracted by Game of Thrones and fucking super into it and shit, HBO had all that dragons and titties money to spend on fucking the war porn network that is Vice.
Oh, yeah.
They had money to fucking poach John Oliver so he could go on fucking full-on neoliberal rants.
Last week tonight, I think.
Yeah. They've got all these other political shows on HBO that are just 100% bullshit propaganda that people do watch and do get into and kind of get into, that are like the HBO shows are fucking, well, they're like Aaron Sorkin shit. They really are.
Like that's a dig.
That fucking pseudo intellectual, overly educated, fucking wannabe Ivy League light fucking witticisms and shit like that, dude. No offense.
I feel like this is more overt, Steve. This is more overt. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. I appreciate that. Is this Aaron Sorkin enough for you to just bring it down to the lowbrow status?
But they had that shit. They had like Veep, and they had the fucking show about that was basically Hillary Clinton. And they had House of Cards and fucking all that. That was the Clintons, and fucking it was just HBO was pushing all that shit while they had all the fucking dragons and titties money in the world. And that's what they got. They got a fucking locked in audience with their programming. That was like, I love HBO. Let me see what else is going on.
And let's just point out that this is how people actually learn civics.
Yeah.
It's like, not from my class, and it won't be from your class. No offense. It's not your fault.
Right, because I watch The West Wing and I laugh at 99% of it. I enjoy. He's right. I wouldn't call it quasi-intellectual. It is a way an intellectual would like to see the world. A lot of fast talking, getting things done, finding ways to get over hurdles that are impossible. Basically, West Wing was a jerk off for every fucking worst case scenario in the world, best case solution. I mean, fucking President quote unquote Bartlett finding a solution to Israel Palestine under the circumstances that he did was fucking laughable. but it's an
I have no
idealist.
idea what
terrorist.
Just like,
no clue what you're talking about right now. None. I have no idea what you're talking
we don't know
about.
what you're talking about.
So lost.
So I
Well,
guess you guys haven't seen the newsroom then.
I just like the skit where they like roll down the hallway eternally. It's just like the camera and people are just walking towards the camera and suits and like, handing things to people. And I'm like, that is, I think, what those shows are like.
I saw some in Newsroom. I did, and I do agree that opening scene there was
The best ever.
really good. That was the best
ever.
work that Aaron Sorkin has ever fucking done.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Fucking the United States is not the greatest country in the world, but it could be. Is fucking so corny, dude. It is, but it's and his stats were wrong, but they were close. You know, like he tried, he did, fucking and he's on point in that. And fucking, I got some love for the Jeff Daniels.
Oh yeah, he killed it.
I can't believe they ripped off Marcos Militis and gave the Daily Kos a nod when they did the whole fucking the Tea Party's the American Taliban thing. Like
right,
that.
Here's the thing, though. Sorkin was selling the ideal federal government, the ideal newsroom, the ideal. Remember Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip? The ideal Saturday Night Live. That's all he sells, an intellectual ideal situation. And I prescribe to that because I am a dark fucker who's dead inside, and sometimes I need a glimpse of light. Otherwise, I want to go jump off the fucking Bay Bridge. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
That's why I watch hockey.
You commiserate with the Q people then.
What's that?
No, he does. He thinks the cute people are fucking just as retarded as
No,
I
I
do.
know mine's a fake hope.
But you know, I mean, but you understand that, like, the desire for hope.
Yeah,
no,
but you understand what
but every human being strives for. We wouldn't survive if we didn't have some semblance of hope somewhere. And for me, it's a fictionalized world that I know is not realistic and it'll never come to be, but it subtracts me out of, as Steve calls it, this fucking cartoon, and I think you called it a sleeping nightmare coma.
Yeah.
That's my way of getting the fuck out of that situation before I have my brain splatter on the wall like a Salvador Dali fucking just don't fuck with my Aaron Sorkin, okay? I don't agree with them, but god damn it, that is some great fiction.
All right, okay.
Wait, did I just do the Game of Thrones thing? You guys are assholes for making fun of Aaron Sorkin. I hate all of you.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is just one word at a time per tap. But
they can't be mad at me because I don't even know who that is.
I'm gonna make it a point to take a stab at Aaron Sorkin like
every
other show. Every other.
Steve, how long have you known me? You know I get off on that intellectual shit. Come on.
It's not. I know, dude. I know.
All the way back to fucking Eric Kell's time. Okay, you know.
I'm not getting stoned and watching Doctor Who later. Like,
love Doctor Who. Nothing bad to say about Doctor Who. And Torchwood. Come on.
I've never watched Torchwood. I don't know
what
that is.
Really?
Doctor Who. I don't either. I don't even know what that is at all.
Wait, what?
I'm pretty far out of the loop though. But is Doctor Who made by this Alex Sarkin person?
No.
Oh.
No,
Aaron
it's
Sorkin. You know what? That was a cute dig right there. I appreciate that. That was subtle. That's what they call like a low key ninja swipe.
No, that was honest, accidental. I'm not very good at being clever. You'll learn eventually.
No, that was quite clever though. You get 10 points for cleverness. This Alex Sarkin guy.
Who's Alan Alda again?
Wasn't he in MASH? I loved MASH.
Okay, this is how much I'm not clever, and this is a real thing. The other day I asked somebody something about Rodney Dangerfield.
No respect.
Is that a real name? Did I say it right this time? Yeah. Fuck. Okay, I said Harvey Dangerfield.
Oh.
And they're like, who's Harvey Dangerfield? I'm like, Harvey Dangerfield, duh. And they're like, I think you mean Rodney Dangerfield. I'm like, then who the fuck is Harvey Dangerfield?
You're like, nobody.
There is no Harvey Dangerfield. I'm like, what? Okay, but this is the other thing. Harvey Danger is a real band, and my brain just mashed them together. It's not That's
Harvey
who I am.
Weinstein, who was a serial gropist or whatever the hell, with Rodney Dangerfield, who was a serial gropist. I see where the misconnect. I see how you
Big
can squash
guy.
those together.
And then this time I said it right, of course.
Unattractive,
Horrifying.
grabby.
Overslept.
Yeah.
Weren't we talking about Honduras?
More important things came up.
Clearly.
Hilarious.
I love these
Who's
shows.
actually watching
We need to have you more
anybody
frequently.
like
This is fun. I enjoyed myself in previous shows, but this
Right.
is fun.
We matched for this occasion. I just want to point out again.
We did not
I'm the
match.
odd man out because
You're
I
like, we
Aaron
gotta look
Sorkin.
good. Gotta pull this off.
This is more of a dark orange, and this is bright the fuck red.
Nobody knows that.
Bright red.
Literally, you are not running off 4K. It's red and red.
See?
It's
All
red and
right.
red.
Twinsies.
It's rojo y rojo. Yeah, ladies, I can roll
You
my
just
R's.
didn't want to admit to people that that's how ridiculous we are, but it's true.
Like I said, I'm the odd man out. I like Aaron Sorkin, so I'm just rocking the black. What's up?
And the V-neck.
I think his name's Alan,
I
actually.
work out. Of course I want to wear a V-neck. It's when those scrawny guys wear V-necks that it's comical. It looks like you stole your dad's shirt.
My kid is kind of scrawny, and he does rock a V-neck, but he's got like those pigeon shoulders that stick up and out, so it kind of looks like he's trying to carry around a chest. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
If you haven't met Steve's kids, they're pretty awesome people. I love them already.
They
If
are
they're
pretty
anything
awesome.
like their dad, then they're going to be fantastic human beings. I have got nothing poo-poo to say about that, other than when they make fun of Alan Sorkin.
Hey,
Fuck Alan
look,
Sorkin.
man.
You'll forever think I did that on purpose, and I'll forever know that I didn't.
If Eric Sorkin wasn't such an asshole, there probably is like an Eric Sorkin out there that's
He's
just
like,
like,
"Why are
fuck, I hate my name.
He's
Why is
all
it-
like,
Oh, I hate.
why are they talking about me? What did I do?
What else did that guy do? Since we're way off on a fucking tangent.
Who, Aaron Sorkin?
Yeah. Didn't he
did
do like?
Studio 60? He did The Newsroom. He did West Wing. He did another show that failed pretty fucking quickly.
Wasn't it the Boston Legal or some shit?
No, Boston Legal was forever, but I don't think Sorkin. Hold on.
I've heard of one of those.
He's gonna
Boston
look.
Legal was fantastic. That was a good show for the first like 5 seasons.
I have no idea. Is that the one with William Shatner?
Yeah, William Shatner, and then the dude who was
William Shatner's a fucking like fat lawyer or some shit.
oh, it's fantastic. Okay, The West Wing, A Few Good Men. You don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies. That's different. Oh, Social Network. Molly's Game. Let's see. Steve Jobs. A Few Good Men. Moneyball. Social Network. Charlie Wilson's War. Studio 60. West Wing. Sports Night. Sports Night was a good one. The American President, which is a fat fest to neoliberal fucking Clintons. Malice, and yeah, those are just a few of his works.
So he's basically works for the CIA.
Which, for all intents and purposes, he sells a romantic version of everything that's wrong with society.
I wonder though, like it'd be interesting to meet someone who really, really believed in all that and loved it so much that they made that much content about it.
Right?
Just like to get inside their head and be like, what is in there? What happened?
Why do you?
I would like to sit down with somebody who is a rabid, either flat earther or a QAnon person,
Yeah.
and just ask them a series of questions while being videotaped. That's what
Do
I would
it.
like to do.
No, this is the thing though. Like I learned this basically when like a bunch of my students were Trump supporters, and I was like vehemently, obviously this person's evil, but I also wanted to like understand why would anybody support this person, because he's a fucking reality TV star, like a billionaire. Like what are we doing here? And it was really interesting to then, because especially when it's my students, I have this amazing ability to be very open-minded and patient and, you know, actually listen. When it's other adults, I'm kind of like, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. So I actually listened, and then I understood like half the country or half the voting population, allegedly, their perspective, you know? Yeah. Quarter of people. And anyway, I just like, I realized there's really is in almost probably 100, probably 97% of people, even if I disagree with them vehemently, I can actually understand a lot of why they think what they think and where they're coming from, even if I will never agree with it.
But that makes you a great
that's
teacher,
not the
though.
first time I learned that, but it was like one of the times where it really like hit home, like, okay, you're like, we have more in common than we have apart, actually. Because the things that they thought he stood for, I could get down with a lot of them, you know?
Right. He sold a fake bill of goods, let's be real. He was a right-wing populist.
And they all do. And so we're all suckers sometimes. Like, I don't know.
But no, here's the thing. My sociology teacher, and it took all the way to college because I thought every other teacher previously was just a useless sack of shit. It took my sociology teacher in college. We used to get into arguments about social conflict theory. I was the Marxist in the class, and as far as I could tell from his perspective, he was the right-wing fucking, what's that Boston Brahmin prick's name? Buckley type. And we would argue the whole semester about how I was wrong with Marxism. And then at the end of it, I got about a 101 in his class. I did really well in his class. He pulled me aside and he said, I really loved sparring with you. And I was all like, I wish I could say the same. You're a right-wing prick. He goes, no. He goes, I'm actually a Marxist. My wife is from, Ecuador, I believe. And she was a card-carrying Marxist in her country. Her family was chased out for being Marxist. And, you know, I fully support and agree with everything that you said, but I wanted to hone your argument. So I couldn't let you know that I was, you know, I actually agreed with
badass.
you.
That's how it should be.
But
You shouldn't be able to know your teacher's point of view. Yeah.
Right. And then it was great. He created dialogue. He created a great environment to learn in. Everybody was engaged because nobody knew where the fuck he stood.
That's how it should be.
At the end, it was cool.
I had this teacher try to tell me that I couldn't let one of my students write about gun issues because I wouldn't be able to control which side of the debate they were on. And I was like, why would I ever want to control the side of the debate they're on in any issue?
But that's
like,
what makes you a great teacher.
The second you thought that was a thing you should do.
Right. That makes you a great teacher. That's so rare to see, that a teacher gives the kids the tools to creatively think and critically think about their positions.
It's also awesome when they tell you who they think you are. They're like, wait, you're not a vegan lesbian? I'm like, no. No, I'm not, but that's pretty awesome. But that's what you think. Like, I'm down.
That's how I
I know there's vegan heterosexual women out there. They're not all one or the other. I know. Just trust me.
I had a
They're not
student
all wearing Birkenstocks.
I feel like I've told this story already if anybody else is listening and rewatch. Anyway, one of my students pretty recently, like within the last month before I quit teaching, she was like, wait, so you like, I don't even remember what I was saying. She's like, you like talk to your mom? I'm like, yeah, doesn't everyone? She's like, yeah, but I just thought like you didn't even have a family. And I'm like, what? Why? She's like, I thought you just like did a bunch of drugs when you were young, ditched your family, and just like fucking became a teacher. I was like, why? What the fuck? I like, you just been thinking that about me all year? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, dude.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I love it because like that was alongside people who think I'm a vegan lesbian. So whatever.
Wow.
I don't even know what vibe I give off.
Wow. Well, vegan lesbian wasn't where I was going, but that's interesting.
Nor
That's
family abandoning drug addict.
That's something to unpack for a later show.
Yeah. I think I must have reminded her of someone.
Vegan lesbian drug addict. Huh.
/ family abandoning.
Oh, yeah.
Aspiring teacher.
Yes. Like, who doesn't come right off of hard drugs and go, I want to teach now?
Right?
I quit the fucking smack. I want to go teach kids now. Yeah.
Well, it was probably like
Kinda
before Facebook was hitting everybody with those be a rehab counselor ads.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyone can do it.
Literally. Anyone can do it. They fucking hire people with like a 2-year AA chip.
Dude, I should become a rehab.
Nonsense. They pay crap.
Oh,
And
never
for the
mind.
record, we're not knocking anybody with either an NA or an AA chip. You've earned your sobriety. Good work. Nobody's knocking that shit.
I could
but
pick
come
up
on.
my 3-year chip here in a couple of months, boys and girls.
Yeah,
I could.
nobody's knocking that shit. We're not.
I got a 24-hour coin one time.
I rarely drink to begin with, so I never had a need for AA. But if you do and you have your chip, we fully support you. We love you to death. Keep up the fight. Boom. There you go. Disclaimer.
Yes. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
The
no,
wrong time to use allegedly.
I straight up, yeah. I fucking know some good people and have had some good experiences at AA meetings. I have, I fucking don't go.
I enjoyed them once.
I don't know. It's not like you can't replace crutches with a different set of crutches and expect anything different to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
it can be really, really helpful, but it's not been shown to be a long-term solution for most people.
well, it's impractical.
Yeah.
It is the concept that you fucking switch off substance abuse and switch on God abuse,
Yeah.
and that's somehow going to be a realistic replacement for whatever it is psychologically going on, and people go to AA meetings and they fuck every single one of them will be like, yeah, this is like therapy for me.
Yeah.
It's not, dude. There's not a fucking licensed professional in the goddamn room.
No.
This is not therapy. This is you telling bad fucking drunk stories in front of other drunks.
And then other drunks trying to be like, well, yeah, well, here's the time that I did something
Here, let me
worse.
whip out my drunk story.
But like, you can't have some therapeutic types of experiences. And I do like is it the 4th step where you write every single fucking harm you've done and you try to make amends for it. Like, I think realizing that you can be a piece of shit and trying to find your like character flaws and like work on those is pretty cool. Like, maybe everyone should do that.
Take a personal inventory. Do that shit.
Yeah.
Take a personal inventory. Absolutely. Make amends if you need to make amends with people. Absolutely. That's fucking,
so like,
Are you talking about the Jewish?
People need to experience that could be good.
yeah.
It's probably not a.
That's
it doesn't
also
seem
why
to be a long-term
Russell
solution.
Brand gets to capitalize on repeating a variation of the 12 steps called the fucked steps, and fucking he gets to do recovery tours now where he does fucking jokes and does fucking the 12 steps with swear words.
He literally walks through the crowd at his shows and just eyes up every single like woman and tries to find the one that, and he'll be open. He's like, right now I'm walking around looking for the person who I'm gonna like fuck tonight.
Were you guys just talking about Yom Kippur?
Tell us about Yom Kippur.
Do they get down like
talking
that?
about making amends and shit. I'm like, Erev Yom Kippur and Yom Kippur. I'm all like, are we bringing my Jewish heritage into this bad boy?
Yeah.
that part of
We
Yom
have
Kippur?
self-loathing
Making
and
amends.
apologizing to everybody profusely down to 2 holidays. You have the day where you apologize to people for offending them, the day before Yom Kippur, which is you're supposed to beg forgiveness from God. So you beg for forgiveness from people first, and then you can go to God and say, yo, I'm sorry, my bad. This is, whatever.
Kumbaya.
Right.
Give me a hug.
Right.
I heard all that shit, so I was all
Brought
like,
that back around.
but you do
That
realize it's 9:50 at night, and I've been awake for like a lot of 22 hours or something like that at this point, so I'm a little loopy. I heard what I wanted to hear, and I got that in there. Take that.
Excellent.
Got to stand up for Aaron Sorkin over here, my fellow tribe member. Prick. I forgot this microphone picks everything up. Prick. Anyways, so we were talking about what? Prick. What?
Now you can interview him because he'll see how much you defended him and he'll want to pay you back.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
You got to give me insider access.
Known Marxist
I'm better than Ben Shapiro. I actually know what I'm talking about.
known Marxist and co-host of radical apolitical revolutionary fucking podcast loves the Aaron Sorkin. Do you follow him on Twitter?
No. I don't like his political ideology. It's like fantasy for anybody else. For everybody who was fapping to Game of Thrones, this is what I fap to apparently.
Yo, dude, I
Allegedly.
Mentally
I
masturbate.
have a real soft spot for the writings of Terry Pratchett and the Discworld series. I really do. I'll fucking geek out on that shit like no other. I was stoked when Good Omens became a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
And I watched it because I've worn out and loaned out and fucking rinse, repeat more copies of that book than like probably any other.
I still need to read more Terry Pratchett. I really like Neil Gaiman. Neverending Story is always going to be my favorite book.
I need to read more Dr. Seuss. I get it.
I'm glad you got that message that we were
Right.
clearly trying to send.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Subliminally signaling.
I got
Dr.
Dr. Seuss. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
Right.
The guy from, what is it? A Tale of Two Cities? No. What was the Christmas one? Bob
Dickens?
Cratchit? Terry
Dickens.
Pratchett?
Dickens.
A Christmas Carol.
No.
Thank you. There you go. The little gimp kid.
Yeah. Discworld is great, man, because the earth is flat. The world is
Whoa.
flat. But it is being carried on the backs of 4 elephants
See,
who
I'm a turtle.
in
I thought it
turn
was a turtle.
stand on the world turtle,
But that's based on
the
mythology.
great Atuin, and it hurls through space. You have to like a certain kind of fucking British humor in order to appreciate it. And if you don't, you're like, this is fucking dumb, dude. Why are you
I love British
Funky.
humor.
But if you do, Terry
If you know who
Pratchett
Benny Hill
was-
is, if you know who Monty Python is, you
uh,
appreciate it.
Terry Pratchett was the shit, man. I was genuinely a little mournful when he passed away.
Is he dead too?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Ursula K. Le
was,
Guin,
he
too.
wasn't a spring chicken or anything like that.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it this way. All the greats are dead, and that just leaves people like us. Humanity is fucked. I'm just throwing that out there. Just
Dude,
saying
I-
it obvious.
I'm amazing. I don't know about everyone else.
Did you see where people hate J.K. Rowling now because she thinks that there are only boys and girls? Or she
Oh.
supports people that only think that there are boys and girls.
That's okay. Well, it's not a fucking uniform world. Why are people obsessed with everyone thinking the same thing as them? It's okay for people to not think that we can have multiple genders and whatever. That's fine. You don't have to agree with them. Let them fucking have their beliefs. It's just like freedom of religion. Like, that's your belief. That's their belief. That's everybody. Stop fucking talking about it. I mean, talk about it all you want, but also don't like hate on people who don't agree with you.
And at the same time, I think that there's a giant push to like
Force people to think the same
what,
thing.
not just that, but there's this like artificial outrage that targets the transgender community and then ratchet up their outrage.
Yes,
And there's
sure.
also the fact that like the murder and suicide rate among transgender people is fucking
Ridiculously high.
yeah.
Like, literally need some fucking actual psychotherapy, not like counseling. No offense to anyone who does counseling or likes counseling, it's also helpful. But like when you have actual mental illness, depression, things like that going on, you need actual therapy.
Unless
you-
you're part of Scientology, which is all a lie, and Tom Cruise can cure you.
And you just like hold on to something that electrifies you, and the demons fly back to the volcano or something.
I hate that. I talked to somebody about Scientology.
Allegedly.
What?
You're not allowed to talk about it. You get like sued or something.
Oh,
Yeah, everything's slander unless we say allegedly.
I allegedly talked to somebody about Scientology, and she allegedly told me that she was disowned by her entire family because she was like, "You did what?" Like they weren't. She went to college out of state, and while this took place, they allegedly joined a real estate scam / religion.
/ Scientology.
Dude, Scientology go downtown LA.
It's fucking weird.
Downtown LA. The church Scientology owns like all of the best fucking property in downtown cities all over the fucking country. They fucking scooped up real estate like crazy during every market crash as they were building. They're
Yeah, and like this is where Anonymous actually got a lot of their first notoriety was from trying to out Scientology and their craziness. But I'd also like to point out that I know a person whose family became Jehovah's Witness and no longer was able to eat meals with them. That was their son. So like, who was still a teenager, while growing up, while this was happening. But because he wouldn't convert with them, like, you're not allowed to eat meals. So like, lots of religions have that, you're not one of us.
Aspect. Yeah. You get shunned in the Amish too, don't you? In the Amish, they'll shun you if you fuck up a little. Hey, why are you laughing?
Yeah. I want to go be Amish.
I got respect for the Amish, dude. I do. When I say the Amish, that's because I grew up in the Midwest and there's some people that talk funny over there.
It sounded like shucking the anus when it came out. That's why I've been laughing.
I can see that.
Sure.
I would move in with Amish and help me build my barn. I'll marry one of your guys or whatever I'm supposed to do. We're gonna build some fireplaces.
If I had to tolerate stupidity, better known as religion, it would be Buddhism. That's the only way an atheist could actually get down with any type of religion.
As if it's not officially a religion, but there are some people that take it way too seriously and to the extreme to where they A, commit genocide, or B, light themselves on fire, or C, fucking
Fair.
Rohingya.
I like Teo was in the THC and Eyes Open for a little while, and she said something about she was really into syncretism, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I looked it up, and it's like taking the best bits of any random philosophy or religion and like making that your thing. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll be a syncretist.
Sure. I'm
a lot of new picks.
That
like, can you make a stupid venture positive by only taking the best bits and mashing them together?
Is that like that stupid thing in the late 90s, early 2000s where you would take all your ideas, your dreams, hopes, and aspirations and put them up on a board? It was supposed to somehow come to fruition.
That's still happening today.
But that's what it sounds like. That's I'm gonna take the best bits of everything and I'm gonna make that one thing.
Yeah.
Except it's a quilted tapestry.
Well, it's what people do within their own religion anyway. They just cherry pick the parts that apply to them.
It's absolutely
true. So if you're or that they want to apply at any given moment, particularly if they're legislating or fucking trying to feel superior over another human being in any way, shape, or form.
That's absolutely true.
At the end of the day, active nihilism, Google that shit. It's the only way to live.
Active nihilism? Active nihilism. Is that like the world is shit, but I'm gonna be fit? Do you have like bumper stickers for it? Because I just wrote one and someone should fucking pay me.
That's the best way to put it into a synopsis. You realize the world is pointless. Existence is pointless. There's no point.
But you're shallow enough to want to have a rockin' bod.
I want to look good doing it.
There's no point. There's no point, but I look great.
I still don't understand.
This tricep is on point. No,
dude was profound.
He wasn't a nihilist.
But people say that though, and I'm like, I don't think he was a nihilist. I think he had like a
Kierkegaard. Kierkegaard was a nihilist. If we're talking philosophically, that's one of the best people to go to is Kierkegaard if you want to figure out nihilism. But active nihilism is realizing the world and everything else is pointless unless you give it a point.
That's Nietzsche. That's exactly Nietzsche. I think he is a nihilist then technically, but like I feel like that whole you giving it a point thing is the most hopeful thing we could ever have. You're
that's
like
why
power ultimately.
That's why I prescribe to it.
Active nihilism. Yeah, no, I still think it has more to do with like sculpting.
Your body?
Yeah. Yeah. I know no like people that I don't know a lot of like super unhealthy nihilists in general. Like as a I don't know, a group of people. I'm not trying to paint all nihilists with the same.
Yeah, this guy's hella discriminatory over here.
No, we're healthy. He's right. I am a nihilist. Other nihilists they're not unhealthy people. I've never met an obese nihilist.
This is all logical fallacy.
If there's anyone in the chat
and personal bias.
who is a nihilist
Personal bias.
and you're just like lazy as fuck and a solid 60 to 80 pounds over what height and weight should be, will you please shout that shit out? I will fucking get you a t-shirt in your size and a fucking big ol' hug and some fucking I don't know, dude, like some non-13.50 tacos, some like 4.50 tacos we can throw down on that.
We all make mistakes in life, and you know what? You learn from them. You pick up your ball and you keep going. You know what I mean? That's the meaning I want to give to 13.50 tacos. Okay.
It's true. It's a good lesson to take.
I would, yeah. I mean, I guess it. I bought. Hey, look, dude. I bought shitty fucking taco truck food. I did. It was right when I started working in town there, and they were parked at Joe's Bar across the street. And it wasn't a taco truck, and I didn't really catch that until I got over there. And it was like you could get a $9 fucking ramen bowl, or you could get some other fucking like random shit. And fuck, I'm hungry, dude.
And now you're hungry.
You know, okay, well,
I want a
I'll try
$9
this
ramen
one fucking vegan item that sort of doesn't look like activated dog shit. You know, great. Okay,
Fuck me.
I'll do it. Because like that or like Lay's potato chips and fucking microwave sandwich. And I don't want that. I don't want to put, that's like, I could inject nitrate straight into my body and it would basically be the same fucking thing. And I, you know, it, as a newly self-identified active nihilist,
Everything's changing for you.
I'm not gonna flex for you, Jay. All right, I just
Next thing you know, he becomes an Aaron Sorkin fan.
want to make
just
sure
go.
it. You fucking. It's really happening. That really happened. That's fucking.
This shit went off the rails.
And look, I
Embrace
just
it.
watched it again in the delay on the fucking.
It's
I
double
hope your fucking screen focuses and freezes like pow 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 pow.
Oh my god! I'm
That's
gonna.
gonna be the like.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and find it after the fact. Take a picture, and we'll I'll put like
The
little
gun show.
captions.
Yeah.
Little captions on the guns. Yeah, that's fucking brilliant. Shit, I think we should go ahead and wrap on that, man.
That's a good ending.
That's perfect.
Pew 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 pew.
You're doing it again.
You're doing
That's fucking
that
funny.
thing that you were doing. You're doing it again.
This
This shit went off the rails.
Yeah.
It breaks it like an Amtrak accident, except everybody's dead and it's fucked. See? Active nihilism.
They say though that like realizing your death and realizing, you know, that things are gonna end is a part of what makes everything bearable and enjoyable, and like it makes you inject meaning into the moment. So
Oh, absolutely.
hey man, there's something to it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Pew 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 pew. I love how you looked at the screen as soon as I started going pew 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 pew. See, that's Pavlov response right there, buddy.
Man,
Iranian.
I don't usually edit these, but fuck.
We're gonna edit everything out except you doing that, and that's just gonna be the show.
The title of this show should be pew 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 pew.
No, the title of the
for it
show
all the
is
way to
going
the
to be
end.
Active Nihilism.
With Alan Sarkin.
With Alan Sarkin.
Aaron Sorkin.
Active Nihilism with Alan Sarkin is totally going to be this episode from now on. I will do that pretty much immediately.
This
Yeah.
is going to be the highest watched episode after all the work we put into with seriousness on our other issues and everything else. And it was looking that way for the first half of this, but then somebody put a penny on the fucking track, and the next thing you know, all the zoo animals are fucking running amok. I'm telling you, the penguins have M16s. The penguins
Like 2
have
hours.
M16s.
2 hours later.
We never did play Cows with Guns.
Oh
The
my
fucking
God.
shit. Sorry.
You're right.
We're gonna do it tomorrow.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah,
We'll
You're
do
right.
sorry.
I'll do that. I'll play us out with cows with guns. I don't know how much. Well, I don't know how long I can play it on the show though.
Oh,
Do you know what the limit is?
I don't.
15 seconds, I thought.
Is it
I
15
think.
seconds.
12 to be safe, maybe?
Okay. We'll
Check it out to be on the
mute it
safe side,
for
but
a
I thought it was
little bit
15.
and let it play. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking cows with guns, dude. That's beautiful. But I could pick up a guitar and do a cover of it,
Ooh,
right?
can you?
Yeah, then it wouldn't be copyright infringement. It's weird how that works. Pew pew.
Next time,
Pew, pew, pew.
I'll do that. Yeah, go for it.
Fat and docile, big and dumb.
This has been Slow News Day.
They aren't much fun. Cows aren't fun. They eat to grow, grow to die. Gotta be dead at the hamburger fry. The cow's well done. Nobody thunk it. Nobody knew. No one imagined the great cow.
Whoop.
Cows are one.
And every Hindu in the area just clicked off.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for hanging out, Jay.
Nice to meet you, Jason.
Love you guys. You're the best.
All right. This has been Slow News Day. You guys fucking, Jesus. Wow. Good luck to us all.
Yeah.